Jonathan Greene. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Bart. Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you. I was thinking about the Powerball. It's 1.125 billion tonight.
Right.
And I was looking at the tax breakout, and if a city resident won the Powerball, the city would be in line for about $4.3 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's if they reported it
Well, I think
and filed their local income taxes.
I think
Not always a sure thing.
That's true, but I bet the lottery people they're going to make sure that
They might, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool if they won. If someone locally won.
I think it'd be cool if someone won locally.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So they could pay for all the parking.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's good news on parking last night.
I heard, yeah.
I mean, it was news. Was it good news? I mean, I guess it depends on who's listening. But, this was council's, I think someone tallied it up, our fourth bite at the parking apple in the last year or so. In the end, assessments went up on the businesses. The parking rules changed. We went from a variety of parking pass prices to just one set one for $55. 1 month free if you buy it a year at a time. Gave a really novel idea that the mayor pitched to me, and we figured out a way to make it work with having the passes be shared between drivers. So if you have a couple part-time employees and you're a business and maybe only one works at a time, you can buy a permit for them and you input their different license plate numbers into our system. And as long as they're both not downtown at the same time, you're going to be okay. But you start playing around with the system, you'll be found out.
It's not like the sharing the Netflix password.
That's exactly what I said last night at the meeting, Bart. It's not like a Netflix password. Like, not everybody can be watching at once. You're going to get that message on the screen. Here in Jackson, if you come downtown on that shared permit and everybody's downtown on that shared permit, it's a problem.
Well, besides the parking passes, there are some options, and I think they've been available. Maybe they've expanded a little bit more, but people can park for free or at a very low rate downtown, and that's been the case for really right along.
Yeah, I mean, always you've been able to park 2 hours for free downtown. I think that's a benefit and a bonus that people don't always consider. It's not like that in every downtown. What also happened last night is City Council, in addition to the parking lot 9A, what we call 9A, which is right next to the Foundry, being a free lot, they also made the parking lot across from the Y a free lot. That gets used a lot by many members of the public to go to the courthouse. I thought it was important to have one on that side of town, to be in that kind of area to support the people who interact with those businesses and those buildings.
And it became even more, available with the new Y parking lot that opened when they finished their construction.
Yeah. So I think City Council this City Council, since I've been manager, it's changed a little bit, but they're always very deliberate. They are willing to accept new information. They're looking for new information. They're actively looking to hear from people so that they can make the best decision. And of course, that best decision is in the best interest of the city of Jackson. It doesn't always make everyone happy, but we're running a city and we're running a parking system that requires us to pay for things, not just ourselves. We have to pay for snowplow removal, we have to pay for the maintenance, we have to pay for rehabilitation of parking lots like we just did last year at the library parking lot. So those things cost money, and when things cost money, the rest of it can't be free.
Yes, and I think it's evidence that, as you say, the council listening to the community, because this is the third, I think the first attempt at this current parking solution was meters, and then you heard from the city, the community, we don't want the meters.
Yeah.
Then this new plan, and then you heard again that no, this isn't exactly what we think is going to be the best. And now we've got version 3. So yeah, the council has made adjustments based on community feedback.
Yeah, and with this iteration that was initially approved with the assessments, it was driven by the Chamber of Commerce and the Downtown Development Authority. And when you step back and you think about how can the city of Jackson, how can city council, instead of having 33,000 voices screaming at the same time, how can they put their arms around those things? So engaging with those organizations who include the businesses downtown, I think was a smart thing. Now, I think they're learning it. No matter what, there's still some dissension even after those meetings, and that came out a little bit last night. But I think City Council made a good decision. We will have to continue to deal with this so long as we have a meterless parking system, so long as we use an antiquated way of doing things that puts the onus and the major responsibility for the costs on the business and property owners. We're always going to have this debate, and it's unfortunate. I think that eventually we will need to have a serious conversation about doing things differently. We will need to put ourselves in the right mindset to accept new information and to work towards a greater goal and put our personal whatevers aside. So maybe one day we'll get there, but maybe not. Maybe we'll just keep doing this annual discussion for the rest of my career.
Well, probably.
Here I'm thinking positively, and you're being the realist.
Well, you and I, back when we were together on the Downtown Development Authority board, we had this issue year after year after year, and there really isn't the perfect solution.
No, there isn't, but there is a solution that exists in every other downtown everywhere, and they have businesses in their downtown, and people go to their downtown, and like, meters don't cause cancer. Let's just be honest. Like, it's not a bad thing. But I want to give a lot of credit to the Downtown Development Authority. Beth Kuiper, their director, is crushing it, really delivering a lot of good events for their businesses downtown, especially this holiday season. I just want to make sure that the community knows that the Downtown Development Authority is really working as hard as they can for these shops and these restaurants downtown. And with Beth's leadership and the board right now, they're doing more events than we were doing back in the day, and it's really nice to see. I think that goes a long way for helping people see the greatness of our downtown.
Yeah, it's been very busy downtown this past fall and winter. I would even say this summer, I think we had the biggest cruise night I think it was August, and then we had the biggest Christmas in the city a couple of weeks ago. Of course, we had beautiful weather for that. But yeah, people are coming downtown. There's a lot to see and do.
Yeah.
A lot of new businesses and restaurants and shops.
Yeah.
And last time, let's talk about a couple other things on the agenda. The council voted to decriminalize the use of things like mushrooms and hallucinogenics, right?
Yeah, it seems this issue's been around for a number of years with a very concentrated group of individuals coming to just about every meeting for the last few years and educating council and continuing to stump for what they believe in. I think it's an issue that is near and dear to their hearts as the city goes. It's an issue that just needed to have the right timing in place. I don't. I'm not the police chief, and I'm not a police officer. I see the wisdom of what council did last night needs to be balanced with the law, but the action they took was to basically deprioritize the use of law enforcement as the main thing. If it's incidental to something else, obviously it needs to be dealt with, but the reality is
right. We won't be doing raids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this? Yeah.
I don't think we were, but and I've talked to Roger Mofford of the Seed Cellar, and he has a lot of his people he works with that are it's for health. They've got illnesses and ailments where that it helps.
Yeah, them. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. And in my very brief looking at the subject, I understand it works for people who are suffering from post-traumatic stress or other mental health issues. And I know it's very big in the veteran world. And I think in Texas, they are allowing it to be used so it can be studied. So, I think generally things are changing. The viewpoints on it is changing. And whether we were prime time in Jackson to have the resolution happen like it did, I don't know, but it happened. So we just move on and deal with that.
The legislature is sending confusion and mixed signals about some of the dollars that they have previously awarded to communities, nonprofits, including the city. The Republicans in the House said we are clawing back some $600 million in improved projects, and a couple of them affecting Jackson. The Hayes $4 million for that, but today the Democrats said no, we're putting it back in, and things I've heard is it's a game that's just being played with nonprofits and communities being the victim.
That's probably a fair way to put it. It's definitely politics. It was surprising to me that it happened, and the way it did. But the way I approach my work is to focus less on the why those things happened and focus more on what we can do to keep driving forward. Now, I've been in contact with Senator Schink's office and then had a meeting with Representative Schmaltz yesterday. I'm grateful that for even being on opposite sides of the aisle, that they're both united in wanting to make sure that this funding is restored. I think both of them, regardless of what they may feel about specific projects that were appropriated, they both feel this issue was settled, it was voted on, and it needs to be honored. And I appreciate that viewpoint, and I appreciate the leadership they're both showing on this issue. Hopefully, we just need to bide our time, and this will return back to normalcy. But right now, it does make your head spin with the action that was taken by the House, and then all the reactions and the chatter about all of this stuff can make your head spin. But we're going to stay the course, and we feel pretty positive that the funding will be restored.
Yeah, I think both Senator Schenck and Representative Schmaltz have made it clear that they are influential enough in each of their chambers to make sure this actually happens. But
Yeah.
The moral of the story is spend it.
We only just got it in September, so it's been pretty hard to do. That's another thing that is, I think, there shows a disconnect between maybe what a politician wants to do and the speed with what they want to do, but maybe not the ramifications of that, because they're detached from the actual operations of those state departments and being able to put the money out. Announcements come fast in the political world. The actual movement of anything can be a little slower because we're talking about people's tax dollars. And so we're very deliberate and very measured in our approach to make sure that these dollars are spent the way they're supposed to be spent, and we have proper agreements in place and proper measures to combat things like fraud. And that happens, I'm not saying that's a Jackson thing, that's with all of this money. These state departments that are charged with putting the money out there, they're very deliberate, and they have a lot of processes and checks and balances to make sure that the worst fears of the people who voted for this stuff don't happen.
Well, we appreciate your time today. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That's
and
a good one.
To you and your family as well.
Thanks, Mark.
The manager of the City of Jackson, Jonathan Greene. More to come.